Our first Christmas together as husband and wife.
Yep, just me and you.
Well, don't just stand there, son-in-law. Let me in.
Where's my sweet son?
You need to use psychology. Dr. Phil, Oprah, mind games, Black Ops.
All of us.
Mama, can you pass me a piece of turkey?
Which one? Together. She's mean. In this house.
Thought you said she joined Jenny Craig.
The Taj Mahal isn't even big enough for that.
Christmas Dilemma, Sunday, December 6th at 7 on TV One.
BJ Britt, who plays Jay, he's the guy that every mother wants for his daughter.
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
Brittany Hall, who takes on the role of warm-hearted Monica. Hey. The hilarious Carl Payne, who plays Cousin Eddie. He's a random relative that you're not quite sure what branch of the family tree he fell off of, but he's always a really good time when he's around.
What it do, folks? What it do?
And rounding out our cast is Christopher B. Duncan, who plays Howard, Dave's father, who is reserved, but is sure to give a mean side eye.
What's happening, folks? Hey to all.
Lastly, we have Jason Ryan from TV One, who serves as the executive in charge of production for this film.
Hello. Kind of like how the others touched on, it was really important because of the times that we're in. We wanted to have like a good family movie, you know, to really, like Christopher was saying, show the love and the power of the love. But it also was important to have something that was authentic. You know, a lot of Christmas movies, they get a little too cheesy, or they might be a little too wholesome, which is okay. It's cool. But, you know, we wanted something that was more authentic and showed the ups and downs, because that really is how you demonstrate how powerful that love is. So it was great. It was a great decision, easy decision to make. Due to COVID, and because it was such a big cast, we spent weeks, even before pre-production, getting the script right. We had to make sure that everything was going to be shot in a way that would keep everybody as safe as possible, despite all of the rigorous COVID guidelines. We also had to tighten up the script, move things around, just to make sure that everything worked out well. And the biggest COVID related thing for me was the fact that it felt weird to be like, I was there virtually every day. It was like, if anybody remembers the movie The Truman Show, I was like Ed Harris in The Truman Show in the command center, just watching everything happen. I had a creative producer I was in touch with, and I could, you know, back and forth with her, spoke to Essence every day. But it was just a weird experience to produce a movie that way and not physically be there. But it translated very well. I've watched the movie about 6 times now in the last few days, going through all the edits. I feel like I'm part of the family myself. I think you all will be very proud, very proud.
One of the I guess biggest Christmas dilemmas, if you will, I experienced was when I was really young. Not so young, but I remember I grew up in Harlem. I grew up in the project in Harlem, and you know, times weren't so good at times, you know, and I remember seeing all these things on TV with regards to how Christmas should be, or, you know, how Christmas was supposed to be. And I just remember, you know, this one year, it was really bad. It was like we didn't even have like a fake tree. You know, my mom put up Christmas cards in the shape of a tree on the wall in the kitchen. And then she just put all the presents on the table, on our kitchen table, but they weren't wrapped, because my dad used to work for a toy factory, and he would bring home all the defective toys. So I used to have like a G.I. Joe, but it had alopecia, like it was missing hair. It was it was kind of one of the saddest Christmases I had ever experienced. But
family connection, because we've been so disconnected because of COVID, and we're supposed to quarantine and all these things. And I feel like within this film, especially the chemistry that we all had working together, you can feel the connection. And I think that's something that COVID has showed or shined a light of how important it is and how much we're driven towards connecting with people and connecting with your family more, the people who, you know, grew up with, the people you know, who love you. So I think that's what it is. It's going to shine a light and remind people how important connection is.
We spent it with my mom and dad in Colorado Springs, Colorado. That's, yeah, from my memory, that's taking it back a while because my wife and I have been together 22 years now. And yes, we went to our home in Colorado, and my mother, my dear mother, who's no longer here, unfortunately, Christmas was her favorite holiday, and the way she would decorate the house was spectacular, to the point where news organizations would come over to the house and interview her and take photos and video footage of all of this beauty. That, you know, to know my mother as well as my dad is to love them. I mean, I'm so fortunate to have had such amazing parents, and to be able to bring my wife home to Colorado and to soak up all that love, all the beauty, not only the beauty of all the Christmas decorations, but the love in our home, the love of the relatives who would stop by. I got a chance to introduce my wife to aunts, uncles, good friends that I grew up with in Colorado. Colorado's where I did my undergrad, University of Colorado Boulder. It's where I went to high school in Colorado Springs. So yes, in answer to your question, that first experience was a phenomenal time, and it was with my parents in Colorado.
All right, number one has to be my aunt's macaroni and cheese in the oven. Like, not on the stove. People like, oh, macaroni, no, in the oven. You know, tons and tons of cheese. You know, all the others. That has to be up there. The ham has to be up there. Oh, my other aunt makes a coconut cream pie. I don't know. Are you from North Carolina?
I've had it before.
Okay. And then I just got put on to this, and it's actually a North Carolina thing. It's a country thing. Honey bun cake. What? I just got put onto that thing during this film. Like they're like, you ain't never heard of honey bun cake? They're like, you really from the country? I'm like, okay. And last but not least, I don't do vegetables like that, so I'm not gonna say any vegetables.